That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
The future of healthcare seems dark at times, but for patients in Kentucky with diagnostic imaging needs, there's a place with clarity and a compassionate staff. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI provides quality patient care while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars as compared to hospital-based centers. Remember, for your medical imaging needs, you have a choice. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI.
Did you know in addition to education assistance, UPS now provides housing for qualified employees? Through the UPS Kentucky Living Options and Opportunities Path, also known as UPS Kentucky Loop, you can work part-time in Louisville, go to school at Jefferson Community and Technical College, and receive housing for up to 2 years. Earn a degree or learn a trade. It's up to you. Loop benefits are available to those who live outside the Louisville metro area, whether you're just starting college or going back to school. It's time to get in the loop. For more information, visit upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
I work really hard, but I'm struggling to pay my bills on time. I've gotten pretty far behind and I don't know what to do.
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 496 Kentucky schools.
Over 282,000 students benefit from Whitaker Bank's Kentucky education initiatives.
Whitaker Bank has contributed almost $441,000 to education programs for the advancement of Kentucky's youth.
We share your passion, Kentucky.
Love the bank that loves you back.
Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Some things never change. Like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep breaths from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break. And the savory snack to go along with it. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
I'm on a fixed income. Credit cards help me balance the money that's coming in and what I need to live on. I've thought about bankruptcy, but how am I supposed to pay for it?
Sometimes the people that need help the most
are the very people who can least afford it.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Well, welcome back to Eastern Kentucky University for the 11th Region semifinal game between Henry Clay and Woodford County. The Yellow Jackets making their appearance here in the Final Four. Henry Clay, winners of the 42nd District, upset over Scott County. Scott County won earlier tonight against Frankfort. That was a great ball game, 56-51. And I want to tell you, Frankfort came to play tonight, but down the stretch there with Scott County made the plays. Particularly, I thought Bryce Long was really making some big plays for Scott County. He had 14 points to lead them in scoring, and most of that was in the second half.
Yes, because in the first half, Gary, I mean, you had senior Diablo Stewart, senior Bryce Long with goose eggs on the board, and I think that made a big difference. As you and I talked at halftime, Scott County had absolutely nothing going in the first half. They couldn't buy a bucket. You look up and you're only down 5 points, and that Frankfort team, I tell you, I can't give enough kudos to the Frankfort kids. They played their hearts out. It was an incredible game.
And Darren Douglas is courtside with Daniel Brown, the head coach of Henry Clay High School. Let's go courtside.
Just like the first game, come down the wire. I think you'll see a second. Just like about 2.5 weeks ago, you guys played in Versailles, and I compared it to an MMA title fight. It was a slugfest. It was actually a very clean game, but very hard fought, very defensive minded. Yeah, very much. When you watch it, wasn't really played well. I'd say yes, Coach Wilson. We both felt like both our teams kind of did some good things, but also didn't play well. But you're right. I think you just again you got two well-coached teams and a lot of seniors. I think when you got a lot of seniors, good things happen. I think anybody's been a coach, that's the way it is.
26-5. I don't know where he got that.
Sorry. Coach Wilson, he got my coach of the year. I did a great job down there, and just excited to be in this situation. and hopefully get a chance to move on. Outside of rebounding, give me a couple of keys for you guys tonight to win. Oh, I think the keys is always in postseason is three things: defense, rebound, and free throws. You got to do those three things because there's no guarantee that offense will work. So that's the three things I'm preaching. Here's a guy that knows a lot of offense, Daniel Brown.
That's right, and he will get Coach Ryan Wilson of Woodford County here shortly. It's Woodford County and the Blue Devils of Henry Clay High School here battling tonight at Eastern Kentucky University. Boy, that first crowd tonight, Frankfort and Scott County, the place was packed.
Oh, it really was. I didn't know Frankfort had, I know they got a very small student body, but they brought half of Frankfort with them, and it was, it was about half and half with the Frankfort crowd and the Scott County crowd.
Let's go courtside as Darren Douglas has collared Ryan Wilson, the head coach of the Woodford County Yellow Jackets.
Here with head coach Ryan Wilson of Woodford County. I'd say big game Ryan Wilson because you're used to this kind of atmosphere. You came back on the floor just a minute ago. What was your final words to your ball club?
I just told them to trust each other, trust themselves, trust their teammates, trust in what we've taught them to do, and just everything they do tonight, make a championship style.
You played Henry Clay back about 2.5 weeks ago. It was a 7-point win for Henry Clay. Coach Brown just said you probably both would say neither team played well offensively, but that was due to the defense by both teams. Give me two keys outside of rebounding tonight.
Well, I think we got to stop them in transition. They're extremely quick. They like to get the ball out and push up the floor, get easy shots. So we're going to have to get back and keep them in front of us. And then I also told them we got to be patient in our offense. We got to screen people. We got to get the ball side to side and try to get the best shot possible for our team.
Mindset of your ball club, waiting around for that conclusion of that first game.
We got an experienced group of guys. They have fun. They goof around a little bit. So they're loose. They're excited. They're enjoying the moment. And it should be a good ball game.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Ryan Wilson of Woodford County. He's as loose as they come.
Thank you, Darren Douglas. Good job with the coaches there. It was good hearing from Daniel Brown of Henry Clay and Ryan Wilson of Woodford County. Woodford County comes in 22-10, and you look at Henry Clay 27-5, winners of the 42nd. The winner here will play Scott County Friday night at 8 o'clock for the regional championship right here at Eastern Kentucky University.
What an incredible prize there where you turn around, it's the best part about the 11th region, Gary, is that any given night, as we saw in the first game, where Frankfort battled, you got a small student body of about 350 people at Frankfort.
Just got a shake and a shrug there from the president of Whitaker Bank.
Mr. Mark Walls.
Yeah, Mr. Mark Walls.
And former Scott County star, Matt Walls.
Well,
yes,
Matt,
sir.
I tell you, I really love Matt. He was one of my all-time favorite players. He could really play the game of basketball. Could handle the ball, could get clutch shots for you, could play defense.
And he's
just
a
had the
gentleman.
perfect, and he's a great gentleman.
He's a gentleman,
Just
really
a
is.
perfect guard, really, for he's one of my all-time favorites there
Mine too.
from Scott County High School. And coming up, it'll be Woodford County. They will battle Henry Clay. Darren Douglas talked to both coaches before the game tonight. I like Daniel Brown down there. He's not, he said, hey, what'd you see in the first game? You saw a good ball game. He said, I think you'll pretty much see that in this one. This is gonna be a good game.
I think it'll be a slugfest. The first game, as we talked about, bodies everywhere, Gary. I mean, we compared it to, an MMA contest.
Yeah.
As the first contest between Henry Clay and Woodford County a couple weeks ago, they're fighting for their lives. There is no tomorrow. Right? There's no tomorrow.
If you don't win this game, you're turning in your uniform.
You're done.
Tomorrow.
You're done. You're coming back Friday night and watching from the stands.
Yeah.
Or you come back and you play Scott County for a regional championship.
Scott County Cardinals in the regional final. They were in the, of course, state finals last year, fell to that Covington Catholic team. The thing this year is the 11th region. You don't get them in the finals. Right off the bat, whoever wins this region, you got the 9th region, which could be Covington Catholic.
Absolutely. But that region, from what I understand, Cove Cath was a district loser. They lost in the championship of the district.
Beechwood beat them.
Yeah.
Got them.
And so, and that's always just a tough region. It really is. And then everybody knows, Gary, with you being a 9th region guy, that when the ping pong balls came out, you wanted to see 11th region and 9th region play again.
Yeah, we did.
We knew it was rigged out at WKYT that day.
Yeah, it was. And, there's a name up there on that 9th region Beechwood team that's beat Cove Cath twice this year. Not once, they beat them twice. Scotty Drought. Yes, Scott Drought, his son is a star player at Beechwood, averages 25 points a game. He's 6'4", though. He's much bigger than Scott Drought, who played at Vanderbilt and was one of the all-time leading three-point shooters in the Southeastern Conference. This kid can play, and he's going to be a legitimate Mr. Basketball in the year, what would that be, 21?
Yep.
21, he'll be a legitimate Mr. Basketball. Everybody's wanting to see this kid play right now.
Well, you got Scott Drought. It's funny that he plays at Beechwood, but Scott Drought was Fort Thomas Highland.
Yes, sir.
He really was.
And your 9th region team.
Well, because of that was he was a senior in 1986 when Scott County was number 1, and when my dad was coaching, we were number 1 and 2 in the state all year and had Frank Persley. and that was Rex Chapman, Felton Spencer. That was a year right there of high school players.
Yeah.
I mean, that Kentucky All-Star team was unbelievable.
Loaded,
They were
loaded.
loaded.
That's one of the few years they actually swept, I think, didn't they?
They did, absolutely did.
I mean, when you get that kind of talent, you better sweep.
Yep.
We've got some talent on the floor here tonight. I'm telling you, this Woodford County team's for real, folks. And this team they play, Henry Clay, I've seen them a number of times this year. William Warfield and I've seen Henry Clay. We saw them beat Trinity, and that was legitimate. They beat Trinity. We saw them the other night beat Scott County. That was legit. They beat Scott County from wire to wire. They led that ball game. This is a really good Henry Clay basketball team. What kind of team will show up here tonight for this Henry Clay Blue Devil team?
Well, and from what I saw, Gary, I've seen Henry Clay. This will be the 4th time I've seen them. I saw first game they played Scott County. It was a pretty good ball game. Scott County wins by 10 or 15. Next game, Scott County was up by about 25. Third game, finals of the district, they come back and lead wire to wire. As you said, I really like them. They play like their coach, Daniel Brown. Daniel Brown was a rough, tough, hard-nosed player, and that's exactly how these guys play. And then I've seen Woodford County play twice, and I was really impressed with their. It's a senior-laden ball team, and I love watching them.
Woodford County back in the highlight marker uniforms, I call them. It's like a highlight marker. Just mark it with your yellow highlighter there. And they all yellow uniforms, and Henry Clay Blue Devils. We're going to go courtside to the public address announcer here at Eastern Kentucky University with tonight's starting lineups.
Here on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University for boys 11th Region Tournament basketball action. Today's game features from the 41st District, the visiting Woodford County Yellow Jackets. And from the 42nd District, the home team on the scoreboard, the Henry Clay Blue Devils. And now let's meet the starting lineup. First, for the Yellow Jackets. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 3, Brandon Cromwell. At guard, a 5'8" junior, number 13, Anthony Tabor. At guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Ben Nash. At forward, a 6'1" senior, number 24, Corey George. And at forward, a 6'2" sophomore, number 30, Hunter Penn. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Ryan Wilson. And now the starting lineup for the Blue Devils. Starting at guard, a 6'1" junior, number 3, Marquess Warwick. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 4, Keaton Brown. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 5, Raymond Jackson. At guard, a 6' junior, number 23, Marquise Mackey. And at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 32, Harris Hawkins. The Blue Devils are coached by Daniel Brown.
And Henry Clay comes into this game 27-5. Great year this year for the Blue Devils. Woodford County comes in with a 22-10 record. Thank you folks out there watching us on YouTube, Facebook, NFHS Network, and on PrepSpin.com. We got 4 outlets working tonight. People watching all over, and I understand from William we had about 5,000 just watching on YouTube that the first game tonight between Scott County and Frankfort.
Gary, I remember years ago when you and I did some games, we had about 50.
Yeah, exactly. And we were doing radio back then.
Well, and remember when we couldn't beat on the table because it would knock us off the air?
That's right. Yeah, we had that vector, and every time the vector went dead, we were off the air. So every time a ball came over and hit it.
We've come a long way, baby.
We've come along thanks to William Warfield, the king of streaming. Makes it look so good here on PrepSpin. So jumping up, it will be Hunter Penn, and he will go up against Mackey. Tap is controlled and is still on the floor. Picked up by Cromwell. Brandon Cromwell for the Jackets of Woodford County. Kicks it over to Tabor. Tabor out front on Keyston Brown. Works it in now. Bounces over to Nash. Ben Nash looking for, he gets it over to Penn. Penn as they clear out down low. Comes out to Nash. Back over to Corey George. Working on Mack. Down low they go. Penn open down low. Powers it up. Rolls out. Penn tries to get it back. He does. And he puts it up and in. Hunter Penn, he just went to war that time.
He really did a little stick-to-itiveness there, Gary. They were patient on offense, got the ball inside, and get a layup out of it.
Exactly. 2-0. Jackets take the early lead here. Just underway here from Eastern Kentucky with Derek Varney on color, Gary Ball with William Warfield, Darren Douglas on the sidelines, our sideline reporter. In the corner goes to Raymond Jackson. Back out to Brown. Brown kicks it over now to Mackley as Marquise Mackley, and pulled out of there by Woodford County. Looking down at all my players there, and And there's a pass down low from Nash to Penn. Over to Nash. She goes baseline, bounces back to Hunter. Penn through the lane, puts it up and in.
You can see the common factor here. Not a whole lot of size up tonight with either team tonight, but Penn seems to be the tallest one there, and they're going to get the ball. They're going to pound it to him tonight.
Jackets lead 4-0 over Henry Clay. Ramon Jackson-Razor, the great football player. He's a track star. He's going to run track at UK, but probably walk on football.
He is a blur. He is an absolute blur getting down the court.
Marquez Warwick. Quez kicks it in the corner to Brown. Out to Mackley, back to Quez. Quez drives in, right elbow, 15-footer, short, skips off the rim, rebounded by Hunter Penn.
Henry Clay's a little tight right now because I love watching Marquise Warwick play. He is smooth as silk.
He's
he really
like
is.
Jack Evans was back in the day.
That left-handed stroke is nice.
Anthony Tabor, down low,
Nice
Corey
head
George,
fake.
head and shoulder fake, puts it up and in. Nice move by Corey George to let the guy run past him, put the head and shoulder fake up there, and that faked everybody out.
It really did. I mean, that's three possessions, three layups, Gary.
Jackson over Hawkins and a three-pointer off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Jackson, comes flying through there. Gets it out to Mackley. He's going to hand it to Quez. Marquez Warwick has it back out, backs it back out. 5:40 to go. Henry Clay still trying to dent the scoring column.
Yeah, it takes it. This first 2 or 3 minutes is very important. They got to settle in a little bit, get some better shots. They're relying on the jump shot awful lot right now in these first 4 possessions.
Razor Jackson has it on the left side, moves to the basket, puts up a shot, won't go, and rebounded by Corey George. He hands it now to Brandon Cromwell in backcourt, the leading scorer on the team. Cromwell averages about 14 points a game. You know, it's a lot of balance on this team. Tabor averages 10. Ben Nash is around 10 points a game. And Ashton Miles DeVore off the bench averages about 8. To the basket, shot put up and in. He's fouled, and Tabor will get the basket. They'll count it.
Another layup, Gary.
Another layup, and it's 8-0 Jackets.
I believe another possession here that Coach Brown probably can get it. Well, here we go right now. That's a good timeout just to get him settled down.
Yeah, he wants it right now with 5:07 to go in the first quarter of action. Scott County won early tonight over Frankfort, 56-51 in a great ball game. Here it's 8-0. Jackets on top of Woodford County. We'll be back on PrepSpin.com. Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin. Tabor missed the free throw, so he does have the bucket, though. 8-0. Woodford County on top of Henry Clay. Marquez Warwick back out to Jackson. Over to Brown. Down low they go to Harris Hawkins. Over to Quez. Three-pointer. Got it! Marquez Warwick.
Absolutely. That's what they'll do. That. What they did, they got him off the point that time. Good ball movement, open shot.
That was designed out of that timeout.
Absolutely. That's a great timeout to settle Henry Clay down and to say, here's what we're doing on our next offensive possession.
We're going to give the ball to Quez.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down low, Corey George. Head and shoulder fake again off glass. It's good. He will get the soup and the sandwich.
Another layup. Boy, 5 possessions, 5 layups.
5 layups.
That's exactly right. They've scored every time down court.
They lead 10-3, and they can lead 11-3 if Corey George knocks down his free throw. And looking at his body of work, only 58% on the season from the line. Free throw is good. Boy, he did look like a 58% shooter on that one.
I said, if you'd have called him a 99% shooter, he would have missed that one, Gary. We know that.
Yeah.
We know the free throw jinx there.
Yep. It's real.
It is.
11-3, 4:28 to go. Marquez Warwick has the big 3 for Woodford County. That's their only scoring 11 points here for Woodford County Yellow Jackets. The winner gets Scott County in the championship. Brown kicks it over to Marquez. Another 3, got it again. Marquez out of the left corner. The first one he got from the right elbow. This one he hit from the deep part of the left corner, 11-6.
And Gary, it all comes from Keith Brown's penetration. He gets penetration, he kicks. That's happened twice, and they got the bucket out of it.
Bad pass, and he throws it to George, and as he's falling down, he tries to save the basketball, but it's going to be out of bounds to Henry Clay.
Henry Clay needed something positive on the defensive end, if that makes any sense what I'm saying. They haven't gotten a stop yet. That's their first stop since the game started.
Mayan White just checked in, a senior. He's in the ball game now, and he's coming in there with Jackson, Marquez Warwick, Keyston Brown, and the big guy, Harris Hawkins. Quez gets it over to Brown.
Brown down the lane, little floater, got it. Boy, that was a tough shot there by Keyston Brown, but he's got good body movability.
Keyston, which I'm biased about Coach's son. He's got that sixth sense of the game. He really does.
Tabor falling down 3, no good. A rebound at Quez. Has it knocked away, but right back to Razor. Jackson down the paint with that quickness.
Oh, he passed up a layup.
Out to White. Marquez will line up. This will tie it up, and he does. That's 3 3-pointers by Quez. Marquez Warwick. It's 11-11. He has 9 of the 11 for Henry Clay. 3:14 here in the first quarter.
And Gary, I would think in Coach Wilson's scouting report, Warwick's averaging 22 points. Let's get a hand up.
Yeah.
But what's happening, everything's coming off penetration and a kick to him.
Nash trying to penetrate. I tell you, that's a good matchup right there.
Very good.
Brown on Nash. 2:55 here in the first quarter.
Going kind of quick.
Sure has. Real fast. Corey George hands it over to Cromwell. Stops and pops a 3-pointer. Back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Marquez. Warwick. Quez running the floor. Quez bounces now. Hawkins up and in.
Beautiful pass.
What a great pass.
Everything's going through Warwick, and there's a timeout now by Coach Wilson. Good timeout.
Because at one point, look at transition there. Great pass.
Beautiful pass.
You know what? Woodford County jumped out like a house fire. I think they were up 8-0.
It was 8-0 before they put on. They put on a 13-3 run here.
Yeah, but Henry Clay called that timeout. Out of that timeout, they found Quez on the right elbow for a 3, knocked that one down, and as he hits his first 3, it becomes contagious. He's streaky.
It really does.
Then he hit the second one. Then he hit the third one from a different spot. They've all 3 been from different spots.
And if you notice, everything's come from Keyston Brown's penetration.
Yes.
He's penetrating the zone. They got a soft zone going on. Woodford County does. Brown's penetrating and kicking.
13-11. Blue Devils on top. That's their first lead. 2:34 to go. First quarter action here at the 11th Region semifinals. Scott County won earlier tonight in a great ball game. Hope you saw that one on PrepSpin. 56-51 over Frankfort. Frankfort led at halftime. Comes now to Tabor, Anthony Tabor.
A little 2-3 going on here, Gary. A little matchup 2-3. You see how they're matched up in a certain area. Now they'll come to the middle here.
Tabor.
Keep the ball out of the middle.
Think about Warwick defensively. He's so long. Yeah.
Exactly right.
And athletic. Corey George, right side, head and shoulder fake, throws it up with the left hand, banks it home. I tell you, that's a tough shot. Corey George already has 7 points. Long pass knocked away, good defense by Nash.
What George is so good at there, he's probably 6, I don't even know if he's 6 foot, Gary, but he's got a strong lower body, strong shoulders, and he's working his way, to the bucket.
They list him at 6'1". I think that's generous.
And that's you and I sitting down here. I don't know if he is or not. Very generous.
Razor Jackson gives in the corner to Brown. Keyston down the lane with the scoop. Shot up and in. Tough shot by Keyston Brown. He has 4 points now, and it's 15-13. Henry Clay by 2. 1:40 to go. First quarter action from the 11th Region tournament. We got a good crowd in there, not like we did the first game when it was pretty much jam-packed, but a really good crowd.
A beautiful crowd in here right now. Both cheering sections on their feet.
And Hawkins, get it back. Woodford County's George drives, scoops it up and in from good job there by.
It's 10 of 15 for him. 10 of the 15 points. There's a steal. Good hand by Nash.
Cromwell down the lane. He hangs, throws it up, draws the foul. We're tied at 15. That's a great move a while ago by Corey George. He has, you're right.
10 of the 15.
He does.
Right.
Well, they got him with 9.
Well, they got him I think he might have missed to complete a 3-point play. I think he missed the free throw.
So, good free throw shooter, Cromwell. And in and out. That's that.
There you go.
There, I know.
There you go. Well, if you notice Cromwell on that one, Gary, I don't know if you saw, as the ball's in the air, a lot of kids have the tendency to take a step back as the ball's in the air. And you see it doesn't get its full rotation and hits the rim and rolls right out. He did it. Now we'll see if he stays on this one. He stays. Still
missed them both. 82% shooter, missed them both.
That may be a regional tournament factor there.
Yeah. And
a little bit nervous.
Tyler Hero was 93% this year. He's automatic.
Yep.
Matter of fact, he told the Arkansas player that last night.
I'm money. Don't talk to me. And what gets me is, why were they at that point talking to Tyler Hero when he already got 27 at that point?
Yeah, and he ended it with 29 points, a career high.
Don't talk to the guy with all the points.
Exactly. Shut up. 15 all. Minute to go here in the first quarter. Falling down is White. Hands it back down to Mackley.
Mackley hands it to Marquez Warwick. Warwick has 3 big three-pointers here in his first quarter, 9 points. Razor Jackson back to Hawkins, turns left side, knocks it down. That's just a pure shot there from Harris Hawkins. He has 4 points. Brown has 4, Warwick has 9.
Lost arc, the mid-range jumper there, Gary. He could have gone to the bucket on that.
Yeah.
Catches it, settles his feet, gets his feet under him, knocks it down.
32 seconds in the first, 17-15. Down low, Corey George. Corey posting up, tough shot, and they're going to call a travel on Corey George.
Yeah, that size was a factor right there because Harris Hawkins bodied him up in the paint, and there's nothing he could do with it. That's what the travel comes from.
Scott Hersey is going to check into the game, and going out will be Mackey. And coming
Brown
in
got
will
a
be
little rest that came back in as well.
Tabor comes in for Brandon Cromwell for Woodford. The Henry Clay Blue Devils lead 17-15 over Woodford County. 24 seconds here in the first quarter.
Great first quarter, Gary.
Terrific first quarter.
Absolutely.
Good start by Woodford County. I mean, they started out like gangbusters, and then a great job by Woodford County, by Henry Clay, especially with those threes by Quez.
Well, they settled in. Good timeout by Coach Brown. Good experienced coach timeout there.
9 seconds. Brown's got it working on Nash. Brown to the basket. Kicks it in the corner. Harris Hawkins a 3. Got it! Harris Hawkins.
Big momentum shift.
Makes it 20-15 Henry Clay. So we head to the second quarter here against Woodford County. It's 20-15 Henry Clay on top here at the 11th Region Tournament on the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's the big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 496 Kentucky schools.
Over 282,000 students benefit from Whitaker Bank's Kentucky education initiatives.
Whitaker Bank has contributed almost $441,000 to education programs for the advancement of Kentucky's youth.
We share your passion, Kentucky.
Love the bank that loves you back.
Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Tomorrow night we'll be over at Scott County for the Lady Guards as they take on the Lady Knights of Lexington Catholic at 7:30 over at Scott County. We have the girls' action tomorrow night.
The first round of the region.
First round of the girls' regional.
We're doing the same thing the guys did with playing your first.
Darren Douglas will have the Woodford County Dunbar game on the PrepSpin's Mixler app, and that will be played at Dunbar High School.
Gotcha.
Kyle Oakes is joining me tomorrow night from the new Georgetown News Graphic for that girls' game.
Kyle's a good one.
Does a good job.
Yes, he does. Fantastic.
Jackson gives to Marquez. He's already had 3. Going to the basket, hanging left side, rolls in. Boy, that was a nice touch there for Warwick. He has 11 now. The lead is 7 for
They let Warwick go left right there. Warwick is left-handed, and they let him drive to his left side and ended up in the bucket.
Ashton Miles DeVore's in there now. Great three-point shooter for Woodford. Cromwell goes in the corner to Alexander. He's in there as well. Justin down low, put the shot up and rolled off. Boy, had that went halfway down.
And think about it is he used the basket well on the reverse layup.
Hawkins a long pass, and Keaston can't believe that Hawkins couldn't catch up to that, but he bobbled the ball a little bit. 7:17 here in the first half. Courtside with the King of Stream, William Warfield, Derek Varney, Gary Ball, and Darren Douglas. He's down there somewhere. As we get the first quarter stats down low, Alexander looks for a cutter, gets it to Miles DeVore, lays it up and in.
Beautiful back cut right there.
Yeah, it was a great cut.
Nice cut, nice look.
Cuts it to 5. Henry Clay's lead 22-17. Bounce down it goes now to Harris Hawkins. Hawkins down low, turns up, put it up and in. Good job.
Is having an incredible game. He's playing hard. Hawkins has a little size on Woodford County out there, and he's really exploiting him right now.
For basketball is Anthony Tabor. Backs it back out. 24-17.
Teams are blistering it from the floor, Gary. I mean, first quarter, Woodford County 7 of 10. Henry Clay 8 of 12.
Alexander stops and pops good. Alexander Justin, the senior, with the bucket, cuts it down 24-19. Jackson to Quez. Coach Brown said, I just call him Quez. Just call him Quez.
Sure. We'll keep him on this left side over here. His strong side.
Brown. Comes now to Brown. Back over. It comes to White. Down low to Hawkins. Posting up on Alexander. Hook shot up and in. Beautiful. Harris Hawkins is a man.
Absolutely beautiful right there.
That's
they're going to keep doing it until Woodford County makes an adjustment.
It's 11 for him. 26-19. Cromwell to the basket. Falls down, and they're going to call a travel. There was some contact.
I think it's the right call, though, because he's leaning forward. He was looking for the contact and just missed the contact. That's what made him fall. He missed.
Back in Ben Nash, Corey George, Anthony Tabor, Hunter Penn. And Anthony Tabor's in there as well. Cromwell gets Jackson at the top. Comes over now to Mackey. Down low. They're going to keep going. Hunter Penn's on Harris Hawkins. Gets it in the corner. Out to Brown. Brown penetrates. Here's a 15-footer. Off the mark. Rebounded by Hunter Penn.
A little strong there by Mr. Hawkins.
Tabor. 15-footer. Rolls off and knocked out. Last touch as Henry Clay looked like they had two players. Daniel Brown saying it was knocked out by Woodford County, but it looked like two Henry Clay players came together.
Well, I thought so too. I had that trouble in the first game, if you noticed, from both sides. You thought it was going to go to one team, but the referee was calling it the other way. But they're down there in the goal. We're not.
You've got some excellent three-point shooters in there if you're Woodford County. Ben Nash can stroke it. You've got Miles DeVore out of the game. Cromwell can stroke it. Corey George can hit it. So Nash thought about the three. Moves in a little bit closer.
Nice
Bounces
pass.
good. Pass, and that shot put up and in by Corey George, who's having a great game.
Very good game. And what he did, he sealed his man off there, Gary, and he rolled back to the bucket, and there's a beautiful pass to him.
He's got 11. That ties Marquez and also Harris Hawkins for game-high honors. 26-21. Good ball game here at the 11th Region semifinals. Jackson rolls in there for Razor Jackson.
Penetration to kill, Gary. Penetration will kill, and that's what Jackson got into the lane right there and scored.
Nash trying to get it to Corey George to go to Penn. They swing it around to Tabor. Tabor out top to George. Corey, right side. Hunter Penn driving down, lays it up and in. Good job by
Nice
Hunter
body work
Penn.
by Penn right there. Great body work. He felt where the defender was and took it up from there.
28-23. Henry Clay on top of Woodford County. Woodford County jumped out 8-0. Quez backs in, backs out, throws the three-pointer, too strong, tapped around, and Cromwell comes down with it, and players shake it up for Henry Clay. Cromwell to the basket, blocked by Quez, and out. We still got a player. That's Razor Jackson, who's
Did he make it up? Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, now he gets up. He's okay on his own power.
He's taking harder hits that on Friday night.
Oh, yeah. Great football player, great track star.
Got a little 2-3 zone here that
Kinda
Woodford County switched. Well, a little soft 2-3.
Kind of like you at Scott County. Were you a track star?
Yeah, I walked around it during football games.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
That's what I did at Boone County.
Yes.
Used to go out and track a lot. Walk around it. Watch Sean Alexander run those touchdowns.
I might not even know there was a football game going on, Gary.
28-23. We got a good basketball game going here, Derek Barney.
Great game.
3:30 to play in the first half. The winner gets Scott County Friday night for the 11th Region Championship. Tomorrow night, our broadcast on PrepSpin, it'll be Lexington Catholic at Scott County. And on our Mixler audio app with Darren Douglas, we'll have Woodford County and Dunbar girls tomorrow night. So we'll have two of those games covered.
Sure. Henry Clay up 5 here. I'm okay if Woodford County wants to sit back in the zone. If I'm Henry Clay, be patient.
Jackson, no good. Tapped out, and he gets it back. Flies through, kicks it outside to Hawkins. Over to Brown. Comes out to Harris Hawkins. The only thing there, a reason didn't set up and shoot another three, is the pass was low.
Right. Keyston Brown uses his body well, but a lot of times he'll go in there and he'll kick it back out. But he gets into the lane so well.
Brown falling down. Gets it to Mackley to the basket, and it won't go. Tapped out. Marquez has got it. Marquez to the basket, hanging and scoring. Marquez Warwick. He has 13 now.
Absolutely. That kid can flat play.
He contorted that with a right hand.
He did. That's
Remember, he's a lefty.
Went to his right, did what he's supposed to do. Use his
Corey
right
George
hand.
faking everybody out, put it up, draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line for a couple of free throws. 30-23 here with 2:24 to go in the first half of action from Eastern Kentucky University, the house that Mayo built. That guy can play, can he? Too bad here at Eastern.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Corey George has his hard hat on tonight. He is doing yeoman's work in there. He really is. I mean, he can knock some free throws down. He's actually keeping them in it tonight.
Yeah, Corey George has got a total of 11 points, 13 for Marquez Warwick. Keyston Brown goes to the bench.
But he's picked up his second foul, Gary. I don't think Dad wants to leave him in there to get his third in this last 2:24.
That was his third. You're right. I missed that. I thought he only had two.
I think he does have. He does have two.
30-24 as George's got that free throw to go. Cuts it down to 6. 2:22 to go here in the first half from Eastern Kentucky University. Ramon Jackson across the line for Henry Clay. Daniel Brown's just surveying his game list, or his play list over there.
He needs a wristband, doesn't he? Like a football wristband with his plays on there.
Marquise Mackey to Jackson.
Got a full-out trap.
And there's a steal by Hunter Penn. Picks it off, steps in the passing lane. Cromwell to the basket,
nice.
left hand no, and draws the foul. So that'll be an 82% free throw shooter going to the line instead of a 58% free throw shooter when you had George up there a little bit earlier. But this will be Brandon Cromwell, a member of that all 11th region team that was named tonight between games.
If I'm not mistaken, he's a really good baseball player as well.
Yes, he plays baseball, I'm pretty sure.
And Gary, back to Henry Clay's offensive end there. If you notice, Woodford County was in a man-to-man and then goes into a run and jump and trap and caused a turnover.
That's Brandon Cromwell's third miss at the line.
I think he's a little tight right now. Look, I think when he's getting up to the line, he's tired. He's take that deep breath and get a little more deep knee bend. There you go. Boom.
1 point now for Brandon Cromwell, who is the leading scorer, averaging 14. It's 30-25, and Hunter Penn will go to the Woodford County bench as Ben Nash checks back in. 5-point lead for the Blue Devils of Henry Clay. Minute 45. Henry Clay trying to make it all 42nd region final, aren't they?
They sure are. They're trying to get that fourth game of the year rematch for Scott County.
Jackson down the lane.
Nice pass.
Bounces to Harrod. Goes to the left side. Missed the layup.
Not so sure if he shouldn't have taken that up on the other side.
I would have just gone to the right side,
absolutely.
yeah.
You got to make something happen there.
And there's quick hands by Marquez Warwick on the sideline. Knocks it into the Henry Clay bench. A three-pointer here by Woodford County, and they're within 2. They're down 5 right now. Cromwell, Nash, Miles DeVore. Cromwell to the basket and put it up, won't go, and rebounded by Jackson. Over left side and to the basket. Back in, the shot won't go, but a foul is going to be called on Miles DeVore.
Great take right there. They've got the ball up in transition because Woodford County on this end was guarding the rebounder. They were guarding Jackson on this end, which left numbers on the other end.
That's only the second foul called against Woodford County in the entire first half. They'll let them play.
They really are letting them play. I think it's been physical, and it's been to Henry Clay's advantage.
Free throw connected by Henry Clay's Marquez Mackey. It's his first point. Looking for his second point of the game, and he'll put the Devils up by 7 if he makes this one. Second one, got it. So Mackey with both free throws, and it's a 7-point lead for Henry Clay. Anthony Tabor.
Big possession for Woodford County right here, Gary. They need to get something to fall.
Tabor gets to Cromwell. Cromwell to the basket, fakes. Right side, throws it up, no. Ballied forward, Corey George hooks it up, no. And it's still out. It's going to be picked up by Tabor. Tabor's going to drive. He's going to put it off glass, no. And rebounded by Hawkins. Harris Hawkins with a big rebound. 39 seconds.
Great looks by Woodford County all around the bucket right there. Just can't get one to fall.
32-25. Henry Clay by 7. 28 seconds to go in the first half from Eastern Kentucky University. Stay with us at halftime. Darren Douglas will give you from the Roberts Insurance halftime report. Bob Roberts Insurance here in Richmond, Kentucky. 32-25.
Should go with about 8 seconds right here, Gary, to get a shot and attempt for maybe a putback. There we go.
Jackson gives to Quez. Down to 6 seconds. Quez to the basket and knocked away there by Nash. And they're going to say it will be Henry Clay basketball with 1.5 seconds.
Ooh, I don't know about this move right here. You got Brown with 2 fouls coming back in. Could run over somebody right here on the offensive end, Gary.
Probably they're trying to, he can jump up and grab a lob, and he's got great athleticism.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's thinking, but there's also could be a push off here. There could be anything.
Quez gets it in. Hawkins right side off the rim, no good. That's the end of the first half, and Henry Clay will take a 7-point lead into the locker room over a good Woodford County team, 32-25. Henry Clay on top here at halftime, and of course we want to tell you again about one of our sponsors here on the network, and that of course is going to be Fantasia Farm. Fantasia Farm is our sponsor tonight. They offer summer camps, birthday parties, and more on over 30 acres in Lexington. Register for camps before the end of the 11th region tournament for a $50 discount. Fantasia Farms, that's here in Lexington, and also you can get them on their website. That's at iamthird.org. So Fantasia Farm, 32-25. Henry Clay on top here at halftime. We'll be back on PrepSpin.com with the second half, halftime and second half, the 11th Region Basketball Tournament here at Eastern Kentucky.
Some things never change, like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep breaths from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break. And the savory snack to go along with it. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
I'm on a fixed income. Credit cards help me balance the money that's coming in and what I need to live on. I've thought about bankruptcy, but how am I supposed to pay for it?
Sometimes the people that need help the most are the very people who can least afford it.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Over 30,000 Kentuckians are saving time and money by doing their banking online with Whitaker Electronic Banking.
341,000 transactions were made on the go last year using the Whitaker Bank mobile app.
Over 340,000 text alerts were sent last year with Whitaker Bank text banking.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky. By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 956 Kentucky charities and community events.
Employees of Whitaker Bank volunteered 14,860 hours to better our Kentucky communities.
93 nonprofits that promote diversity and inclusion in Kentucky are supported by Whitaker Bank.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
Back here at Paul S. McBray Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University, we're at halftime of the second boys semifinal game of the 11th Region Basketball Tournament, and Henry Clay leads Woodford County 32-25. First half stats look like this. It was very well taken care of basketball-wise for both teams. Pace was pretty high and then settled down the second quarter. Each team only turned it over 3 times. Woodford County has a couple of steals in that. Henry Clay has yet to take the ball away. Difference in the ball game is 3-point shooting. Henry Clay 4 of 9 from behind the arc. Woodford County 0 for 2 from behind there. Henry Clay 13 of 23 overall for shooting the basketball from the field for 56.5%. Woodford County 11 of 21 for 52.4%. Rebounds are even at 11. Woodford County owns the offensive glass 4-3. Points in the paint, Woodford County leads 20-14. Points off turnovers, Henry Clay 5-3. Second chance points 4-2 Woodford County. Fast break points 2-0 in favor of Henry Clay, and 4-0 in favor of the Woodford County bench. The score was tied 3 times. There has been 1 lead change. Biggest lead of the first half was Woodford County by 8 with 5:06 left in the first quarter. Henry Clay's biggest lead was by 7 at 7:46 of the second quarter. Woodford led for 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the first half. Henry Clay 9 minutes and 13 seconds. The game was tied for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Leading scorer in the ball game is Marquess Warwick, the junior, with 13 points. 3 of 4 behind the arc. 5 of 7 from the field overall. He's tied for the rebound lead for the Blue Devils with Raymond Jackson, each with 3. 13 points for Harris Hawkins. And then 4 points for Keyston Brown, 2 each for Raymond Jackson and Marquise Mackey. Scott Hersey, Mayan White, and Dorian Harden all played in the first half and failed to score. Woodford County was led in scoring by Corey George with 12 points, 6 points for Hunter Penn, 2 each for Anthony Tabor, Ashton Miles DeVore, and Justin Alexander. 1 point for Brandon Cromwell. George led the Yellow Jackets in rebounding with 4. Hunter Penn pulled down 3. Woodford County and Henry Clay. It's 32-25. Blue Devils at the half. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll get you set for the second half. Derek Varney will join me and tell you what both teams need to do to close this one out. The winner to meet Scott County. A 56-51 victor over Frankfort in the first semifinal game here tonight. Back with more on the PrepSpin Sports Network.
I work really hard, but I'm struggling to pay my bills on time. I've gotten pretty far behind, and I don't know what to do.
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in Somerset.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Same way when my dad died. Back here at Paul S. McBray Arena in Richmond, Kentucky, on Eastern Kentucky University's campus. Halftime of game number 2, semifinals. Henry Clay leads Woodford County 32-25. Darren Douglas, Derek Varney, and Derek, real quickly, Henry Clay got hot from behind the arc to start it. They were 4 of 9 in the first half. That's basically the difference in the ballgame. Everything else is even.
Absolutely. They turnovers 3 to 3.
Yeah, I mean 3, and it was high intense.
And look at the fouls.
Yeah.
There were hardly any fouls. I mean, how many did Woodford commit in the first half? I mean,
not many. let's see.
Total, what do you got?
2.
Exactly.
And 5 for Henry Clay.
Exactly right.
7 fouls, and it was a physical game.
It was a physical game, and I think Woodford's got to find Marquise work. I mean, he's the key. But in order to find him, he's knocking down shots off penetration from Raymond Jackson and Keaston Brown. Cut penetration, find work, and then go from there.
You're Woodford. You're lucky to be down 7. Brandon Cromwell 1 point in the first half.
You say you're lucky to be down 7, and then also you look at Henry Clay, and Henry Clay thinks we should probably be up more.
Right.
That's kind of scary when you look at Cromwell's got 1 point. He's going to come alive in the second half. He gets to the bucket well. He's a very aggressive kid, and I think it's going to turn out to be just a barn burner of a game. Really
I think we're going to go right down the wire like the first one did.
Absolutely.
Second half coming up. Gary Ball, Derek Varney on the call of Woodford County Henry Clay from the 11th Region Tournament in Richmond.
We're here at Eastern Kentucky University for the second half of Woodford County and Henry Clay. Gary Ball back with Derek Varney. Woodford County, they got some good performance out of Corey George, 12 points, but they got to get more out of Cromwell, their leading scorer.
Well, and that's what Darren and I were talking about. Your leading scorer Cromwell's got 1 point. You're only 1 point, and you're only down 7.
Yeah,
you can turn that into a positive because I think he'll get off here in the second half.
Ben Nash and Tabor, Corey George, Penn, and Cromwell. Brown, Marquez Warwick, Harris Hawkins, Mackey, and Jackson.
All 5 starters for both teams back on the floor.
Exactly. Nash has it deep on the right side in front of the Woodford County bench. Back out he goes to George, top of the circle. Over there swinging on the left elbow to Cromwell. Back over to Tabor. Out top to Nash. Gives it to Hunter Penn. And it's going to be soccer played there for a moment. Go back to
Gary. Hunter Penn's a good-looking kid. I mean, he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking kid. He really is. It looks like he's not done growing.
Right. He could get up to 6'5", 6'6", and
absolutely.
be a load.
He'll be one of the top players in the region next couple of years.
Nash stops from about 17, and it's off the mark. Flying through. Hunter Penn looking for the ball, and it's going to be out of bounds. Going to go back to Woodford County as Jackson battled there for Henry Clay.
Let's see what happens when a team gets an offensive rebound. They normally score if when the ball's knocked out of bounds and they get another possession out of it.
Jumper by Tabor, no call as he hit the ground and rebounded by Webb, by Marquez. Gives it to Hawkins, running the floor and throws it up and he draws the foul. Foul went on Ben Nash. It's
a good outlet pass right there to get a layup out of it, and he almost turned it into a good old-fashioned three-point play, and we got somebody down, maybe a
Hunter Penn down, and
we got an ankle there?
Yep.
He's trying to tie his shoe a little tighter.
Walker Tahune out, the athletic trainer at Woodford County. Of course, check out the Scholastic Ball Report Sundays at noon on the CW. This week we got the championship cheerleaders, national champion cheerleaders from Lexington Christian. Also Lincoln County and the Emma King Miss Basketball finalists will be on the show. Lincoln County and highlights from all the games. That's the Scholastic Ball Report Sundays at noon on the CW.
Garrett has heard that Hunter Penn, that's a re-aggravated ankle. He stepped on a cameraman in the finals of the district playing Western Hills. And so he re-aggravated that. You see him now, he's trying to walk it off over there.
Yep. Free throw by Hawkins. That's going to be short. Well, he put together a first half. But this young man, Hawkins, he had 11 points. Quez had 13 in that first half.
Great first half by both of them.
In and out. Woodford County's Nash pulls off the rebound, gives over to Cromwell. Cromwell picking up the pace. Now backs it back out of there. Right side, Cromwell to the basket, gives it to Nash. Nash down the right side, gives it to Corey George, and that 10-footer won't go. Rebounded by Brown.
Brown already took a dribble. He's trying to get it out of there.
Gets it to Razor Jackson. Back to Brown. Streaking down the left side. Stops, left elbow. 10-footer rolls in there.
Beautiful move right there. And it's because Keaston Brown gets to the lane. He goes as hard as he can, and that was a nice head fake right there and a good turnaround mid-range jumper.
He has 6 points. The lead is 9. That's the biggest lead Henry Clay's enjoyed in this ball game.
Yep, sure is.
6:29 to play.
Let's see how Woodford recovers.
In the third
right here.
quarter. Third quarter action. Tabor gives it back to Nash. Woodford looks a little tired to me on this college floor.
Not a whole lot of energy.
Cromwell, three-pointer, that's in there. That's going to hit the right side of the iron and be no good. Brown.
I think Henry Clay's going to continue to run in transition.
Quez. Three-pointer, in and out, rebounded by Cromwell.
Boy, he's an even keel kid, isn't he? I mean, he keeps the same facial expression and just keeps playing hard. He really
Nash.
does.
That would be a deep three if he shoots that.
Yes,
Nash
sir.
hands it back to Tabor. He launches a deep three. Got it!
That'll get you back in it.
Tabor with the deep three, Anthony. 34-28. Henry Clay's down to Hawkins. Hawkins spinning, cut off, gets it back to Brown. 17-footer, good.
Three-pointer, Gary.
Oh, that was a three-pointer.
Definitely a three-pointer.
Hard to tell. I got all these lines here on this college floor.
Yep. Nice kick out by Hunter Hawkins right there to find Keaston Brown.
37-28. Tabor on Hawkins, right side, off glass, good. Tabor all of a sudden has found some
5 in a row.
Shooting room. That's 5 straight points, 37-30. Brown gives it out to Marquez Warwick. Gives to Hawkins, back tap by Nash, but Hawkins handles it down. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Henry Clay on top of Woodford County, 37-30.
Keaston Brown looking to get into the lane again. That's where he just wreaks havoc in the lane, Gary. He really does.
Launches a three, and that's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by Warwick, stuck it up. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. The shot wouldn't go for Marquez Warwick. Got a good basketball name, and he's got game too.
He really does. And as you all mentioned, he's a junior. He continues to grow. I mean, look at the length on him.
Daniel Brown makes no bones about it. He said he will be a legitimate candidate for Mr. Basketball next year.
I totally agree with him. Totally agree. He's going to have a big summer also. You know, he'll get on. He probably plays with a great AAU team.
He does.
You know, he'll get a lot of looks.
That's 14 for Quez. He averages, as Derek Varney mentioned early in this broadcast, over 22 points a game. Got them both.
Nice stroke.
15 points. The lead is 9. That equals the biggest, 39-30. Woodford County's Corey George comes over now to Cromwell. Cromwell trying to get on track in this game. Gets it back to Tabor.
Woodford's pretty stagnant right now. That's what they need. They need to come out high ball screen and get somebody going towards the bucket. Right there you go.
George aggressive to the basket, up and in.
Good high ball screen, a roll off that, and they get a layup out of it.
It's like he heard you. Long pass, and picked up by Woodford County. Miles DeVore's in there, and he's got the basketball. Ashton, 5'7" junior, 39-32. Got to watch DeVore. Miles DeVore can hit threes. Corey George into the lane, spinning. The left hand, no, and he's going to draw the foul. And Racer can't believe it.
No, there's a bailout right there because there's no way Corey George was going to hit that spin. He about spun himself right out of bounds is what happened.
So Corey George will go to the free throw line. He has 14 points to lead Woodford County tonight. Free throw rolls in for Corey George. Now has 15 points. If he hits this, he becomes the game's high scorer.
He's played a heck of a game, he really has.
Missed it, rebounded by Quez. Marquez Warwick down the left side with Nash cutting him off. And stripped away by Nash, and he knocked it off of Marquez. And they'll go back to Woodford County. They're down 6.
A little momentum shift here, Gary.
Yeah, get the basketball back, down 6.
I didn't know if they were going to cut off Warwick. They're going to. He's left-handed. You want to keep a kid like him that is so dominant left-handed off the left side because he's going to score and beat you every time.
Marquise Mackey back in there, and out will be Mayan White. Across the line is Tabor. Comes over to Nash for Woodford County in their yellow uniforms. Henry Clay in the white. Here's a steal by Brown.
There you go.
That'll go on Nash.
They're going to call that intentional, are they? No.
That'll be Henry Clay basketball, side court. 39-33. Boy, we had a great game early tonight that was won by Scott County.
56-51 over a game Frankfurt team.
And Scott County barely led. I mean, they led. I guess they got the lead there towards the end of the third quarter and led a little bit, but it shifted back to Frankfurt. And once Frankfurt went up 3,
Miles DeVore steps in, and we're going to have the ball knocked out by Brown. We'll go back to the Yellow Jackets, 39-33. They're down 6, but they have the basketball. 3:24 in the third quarter here on PrepSpin.
Big possession right here for Woodford County. You got to cut to 6.
Thanks to our title sponsor, Derek, Mingua Beef Jerky.
Love it.
It's good stuff. Backing in, Corey George. Out to Miles DeVore. Ashton bounces back to George. Corey moves in, right side, faking, throw it up, and boy, that was just good defense there by Harris Hawkins.
Look at that hustle.
Good
Cromwell.
steal by Cromwell.
You're not going to beat him to the ball.
Cromwell, and he is pushing down court, kicks it out. Tabor over to Nash. Nash penetrates.
It's a block.
And we're going to have a blocking foul called, and it's going to go on Keyston Brown.
It's his third. See what Coach Brown does here with Keyston.
He becomes the first player in any kind of foul trouble for Henry Clay.
Yeah. Let's see if he lets him go this last 2:42 of the third. I may rest him here and just bring him back in for the fourth.
That'd be a good strategy.
Yeah. Let's see what he does.
I think that's what he's going to do.
There we go.
White in for him. And Maya White checks in for Keyston Brown, who goes out 2:42 in the third. And I tell you what, you lose a really good ball handler there in Brown, and a kid that really takes it to the basket hard every time.
He really does. He gives, and I know his dad's proud of that, where he gives 110% every time he's on the court.
Tabor trying to get it in play. Gets it on the right side to George, working on Harris Hawkins. George gives it back now. Tabor lines up to 3. Got it! Tabor's on fire here in the second half. That's 8 points.
He's been the difference. And again, both halves. The three ball's been the difference, Gary.
39-36. Things heating up here at the 11th Region Tournament. Marquez to the basket, up and in.
There's not much you can do to stop that, Gary. I mean, you need to cut penetration, but man, when he gets to the bucket, he got his shoulders turned.
Tabor.
Again, he did it right-handed.
Yeah, he did, and he's lefty.
Yeah.
41-36. Woodford County with the ball. 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Woodford had it down to 3. Into the lane. Tabor, right side, high arcer, rattles it in. Tabor's just taking over this game.
Tabor said, "Get on my back, boys."
10 points in the quarter.
Got a 3-point ball game again.
He's got 12 overall, but 10 of them here in the quarter.
Yep.
Almost a steal. Warwick gets it over to Hawkins, over to Razor Jackson, to the basket, throws it up off balance, and Corey George, Nash comes out of there with it.
Oh, I missed him at the other end.
Nash, he missed his teammate, gets it over in the right corner, and Tabor's 3. He missed it, but he was kind of caught up with the ref over there. White works it down, lays it up and in.
Big bucket for Henry Clay right there. Stopped the bleeding. It really did.
I think Tabor was upset because he got kind of tangled up with the referee.
Well, and once that happened, Tabor should have backed that one out. He really should have.
And remember, tomorrow on PrepSpin, we'll have girls regional basketball. We'll be over at Scott County for the Scott County Lexington Catholic girls game. That'll be tomorrow night at 7:30 in Scott County. And Darren will have the audio broadcast of Woodford County and Dunbar. We'll be back on PrepSpin.com.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath, thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Back here at the 11th Region Basketball Tournament. Woodford County down 5. They do have the basketball. Tabor, who's had a tremendous third quarter. Backdoor to Cromwell. He's trying to post up, puts it up, no. Battle for it. Hawkins came down with it for Henry Clay.
Great play out of a timeout for Woodford County. They get a layup, and Cromwell just can't finish it.
Hawkins a three, bullseye. Makes it 46-38. He's got 14 points. Tabor down to 46 seconds here in the third quarter. Crossing over, down the lane. It's blocked by Marquez. Corey George back to Nash. Nash penetrates, 15-footer short. Rebounded by Quez. Marquez will dribble it in the front court. Right side, and puts it up and in. Marquez Warwick.
You don't cut the basketball, Gary, that's what's going to happen. It was a 3-point ball game. They've now gone on a 7-0 run right here.
They lead by 10. That's their biggest lead of the game. 10-point lead for Henry Clay. Here approaching the end of the third quarter. Marquez just took over there, didn't he? Late. Cromwell crossing over on Razor. Right side. There's a three-pointer, and it's knocked down by Corey George, who's having a tremendous game tonight.
Big shot right there.
Corey George has 18 points.
He's earned every one of them, Gary. He really has. He's worked his tail off tonight. 48-41. Henry Clay on top of Woodford County. Final quarter coming at you. The Mingua Beef Jerky high school basketball game of the week. Thanks to Mingua Beef Jerky, our title sponsor here on PrepSpin.com.
The future of healthcare seems dark at times, but for patients in Kentucky with diagnostic imaging needs, there's a place with clarity and a compassionate staff. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI provides quality patient care while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars as compared to hospital-based centers. Remember, for your medical imaging needs, you have a choice. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI.
Scott County awaits the winner of this game Friday night. Right now, Henry Clay up by 7, 48-41. I think that's what they won the previous meeting against Woodford County by 7. Marquez backs it, goes down to Hawkins, and we're going to have a Hunter Penn reach in from behind.
They're battling. Those two are battling. And the thing about it, you look at them, they're almost identical there, Gary, you know. And they are battling each other. And, again, what do you do when you get the ball coming out of an end of a quarter or a timeout? It's a good set play by Coach Brown. One's a senior, one's a sophomore. Brown over to Marquez Warwick, back out to Keyston Brown. He's back in there with those 3 fouls. Down low to Hawkins. Hawkins posting up. Nice
left hand up and in.
Beautiful.
Just good ball movement there by both Brown and Hawkins. You can tell they played together for quite some time.
Absolutely, and it's the high ball screen and going downhill towards the basket.
Cromwell between the rings. Drives right on Brown to the basket and throws it up as Henry Clay hits the floor. Going to be a blocking foul. Well, I think Cromwell was shooting, wasn't he?
It's 4. They call that on Keyston Brown.
Yep. So
it comes
fourth
right back
foul
out.
on Brown. So he has 4 fouls. 7:20 to play. The Devils by 9. You got an 82% free throw shooter up there that can cut into this lead with 7:20 to go in this ball game from the 11th Region Tournament here at Eastern Kentucky University. Gary Ball with Derek Varney and William Warfield, the king of string.
Keyston Brown got himself in trouble on that defensive end right there, Gary. He came out and attacked the ball too far out and couldn't catch up, and then they call a blocking foul on him.
Cromwell has 2 points from the line. He has not scored a field goal yet tonight. Leading scorer.
Leading scorer.
Averages 14. Second one got it.
See what he does. Keep an eye on him this last 7 minutes here.
Yep. We sure will. 50-43, Henry Clay out of Lexington on top of Woodford County out of Versailles. 7:10 to play. Scott County won early tonight over Frankfort in a great ball game, 56-51. Out of the corner, White with the high arcing three. No good, tapped up. Hawkins battling there on the ground, and White's got it. He has it stolen away, picked up there by Hawkins, and coming in is Hunter Penn, I think.
Hunter Penn.
Kind of trying to be the, they're going to call a jump ball, and yeah, the alternate possession will give it to Woodford County.
Ball on the floor, Gary, bodies on the floor. I love that. They were all over that. I mean, that's what it's all about. You're in the regional tournament.
Yeah.
There's no tomorrow.
That's right.
They're getting after it right now.
You know, I will say this without question, the Final Four of this region as good as anybody. I mean, they're the four of the best teams in the state. You got Scott County, Frankfort, and you got Woodford County and Henry Clay, who's number 2.
We're right here at right here in the Final Four, and it's what it's all about. As they're trying to clean up the floor here from a lot of sweat that hit the floor there on that loose ball, Gary.
Williams more worried about the wrestling schools. We got Woodford County, a good wrestling school.
Oh,
Henry Clay.
Good point.
Yeah. But Union County's been dominating lately. Woodford County used to dominate back in the day.
Yeah, like every year, didn't they?
Yeah, every year they won.
When I didn't know anybody else even had wrestling.
Hanging and Penn, and boy, Hawkins just hammers him to the ground, and they help him up. Hawkins, there was no doubt about that, that was going to be a foul.
That was, if you're going to foul, don't give up the three-point play right there.
You're watching tonight on PrepSpin.com, National NFHS Network, Facebook, YouTube, and PrepSpin. 4 different outlets tonight to watch this game on.
Catch us anywhere, Gary.
Anywhere.
Anywhere you want. Mobile phone.
Mobile, any device.
Desktop,
yep.
Absolutely.
Any device, iPhone, computer, iPad. We'll be streaming the final. That'll be Friday night at 8 o'clock. Scott County's already in the championship. Scott County a winner tonight over Frankfort, 56-51. They will play the winner of this. If it's Henry Clay, it'll be a rematch of the 42nd final.
And to be the 4th time they've played this year.
Yep.
I think they know each other a little bit. The scouting report, you don't have to get too deep. You know each other.
Hawkins pleading his case with the official, but
that shouldn't be second-degree murder or first-degree on the foul.
Well, he's a budding attorney.
That's how hard he fouled him. He's trying to plea bargain out of it.
Yeah, trying to plea bargain. I don't think that works. Penn, both free throws rattles it in. So good free throw shooting by Hunter Penn. He had 3 field goals in the first half. That's his first 2 points here in the second half. We got a 5-point ball game, and I'm still looking. Brown's on the bench. Keyston Brown, a great guard for Henry Clay with 4 fouls, and Woodford getting back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've really never – it went to 10 points one time, and then a 3-pointer from there to back down to 7.
Quez to Jackson. Jackson. Razor. He is so fast, so quick. Bounces to Hawkins on the low block. On Hunter Penn. Going in to the left hand, throws it up, and he traveled with it. He was calling. He wanted a foul, but he traveled before the contact.
Yeah, he was initiating contact there, Gary, and again, he didn't feel the man on his rear end, and therefore caused him to walk. You got a good offensive player there, finds the defensive man on his tail before he makes a move.
Jackets could use a 3 here. Bush, and they swing it back out top as here's a Tabor deep 3, and chase down. Tabor gets it back.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Brown is stressing, that, on a 3-pointer, there's more than likely there's going to be a long rebound. You got to have long rebounds.
That's over to Cromwell. Cromwell penetrating. Bounces now over to Corey George. Corey.
18 points.
18 big ones.
20.
Right side, and he puts it up. No, there's battling down low is Hunter Penn. Hawkins battling, and he comes out of there. And what are they going to call here? And
wow.
Call the foul on Woodford.
5.5 to go. You got Keyston Brown coming back in.
And did he slip on the floor there?
I think he got sniped as he came in, Gary. I mean, he made a grand entrance right there. Yeah, I think he did.
50-45, 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go in this basketball game. The winner gets Scott County Friday night at 8 o'clock is the championship game. Hawkins. Harris gets it back to Brown. Penetrating. Back to Hawkins. Fakes with the ball. Jumps it down low to Razor, and he is going to be fouled.
Wow, that was
by Penn.
A tough foul right there.
Well, Hunter Penn, I'll tell you what, when he fouls you, you're going to know it, and it's not going to be a little touch foul.
No, he fouls hard. He really does. Well, and the same thing with Harris Hawkins on the other end.
I think he's from the Kevin McHale school.
It is. Got to be.
Basketball.
Celtic fouls, yes.
Jackson, boy, I tell you, this young man has been so big for Henry Clay down the stretch in the tournaments. Off that football team, he was a little late coming back, but Razor Jackson has given quality minutes to Henry Clay. Gets them both. 4 points for Ramon Razor Jackson. 52-45, lead back to 7 for the Henry Clay Blue Devils.
Woodford just can't seem to break underneath that 5 mark.
Tabor, who was electrifying in the third quarter. Over to Cromwell. Cromwell with the left-hand dribble on Brown.
Brown's got those 4 fouls.
Gives it to Hunter Penn. Back it goes to George. George on the floor. Hawkins down there on the floor, tries to get a timeout.
Did he get it? I think he got it. Yep, he got it.
Yeah, they got a timeout. Yeah, Hawkins called a timeout with 4:42 to play. Henry Clay up 52-45, and another good hustle play by Harris Hawkins.
He's everywhere.
I'll tell you what, I don't know where this kid's going to play his college basketball, but I think he's not a real big guy. He's not 6'7", 6'8", 6'6", but nobody plays any harder than Harris Hawkins.
He leaves it on the floor just like right there. That ended right there with him being on the floor calling a timeout because of a loose ball that he came up with.
We're at the 11th region tournament with William Warfield scouring the social media. Gary Ball, Derek Barney, and Darren Douglas.
Seven-point game here, Gary.
4:42 in the basketball game. Scott County won earlier, 56-51 over Frankfort. Henry Clay's trying to move on to the championship Friday night. Tomorrow night we'll have a broadcast, Scott County girls and Lexington Catholic girls from the 11th region tournament at Scott County. The host school's host.
Good
back
pass.
door. Keyston Brown missed the layup, tried to put it up with the left hand and rolled off.
Great play again out of a timeout. Sign of a good coach right there. Really is.
And on the right side is Ben Nash. Back over to Cromwell. Brandon. Mackey on him. Back it goes to Ben Nash. Ben Nash angles toward the left side and trying to post up his Penn. Penn down low. He's going to throw it up. Won't go. And battle for it. And coming down with it is Brown and Penn. Brown hits the floor, grabbing the basketball. And Hawkins telling him to talk to Hunter Penn.
Penn gave a little more than an elbow when he came down on the ground on top of Brown there.
Yeah. And now Tabor and Cromwell are going to try to back Hunter Penn out of there.
I like the sophomore mixing it up right here.
Yeah.
Look at him hitting here.
And then Hawkins walks in there and gives him a little chest bump. Ashton Miles DeVore in the game now. And Hunter Penn is going to go to the Woodford bench. And not very happy going to go to the bench either.
Gary, I'm not too sure about that substitution there. I mean, it wasn't too bad out of control. A little jawing, a little body work, but you know what? Penn's been an enforcer in there.
Pass,
big time.
And that's going to be a foul on Woodford County. I think Jackson. That's second on Ramon Razor Jackson. 5 team fouls each for the Jackets and for the Blue Devils. Tabor to Corey George. Back to Tabor.
Under the 4-minute mark.
Yep, 52-45. Woodford County down by 7. They have the basketball. Corey George, right side, hanging and putting it up and in. Well, Corey George has played out of his mind tonight.
20 for him.
20 points. 52-47, and going to be a foul called on Woodford County. Going to put it in underneath. That's not the bonus yet, as we said. That's 16 fouls against the Yellow Jackets. 3:40 to play. Old broadcast teammate Matt Calvert would be here calling it. He would be enjoying this Woodford County game. The voice of the Yellow Jackets for about 40 years.
40 years, had to be, yep.
Harris Hawkins kicks it back over to the left side to Ramon Jackson.
Hawkins is laboring right now, as they all are. This college floor, Gary, if people don't know, this is a regulation college floor. These kids aren't used to playing on this.
Yep. Jackson to the basket with that quickness up and in. I tell you, that's where he's given them such a lift with that quickness, Derek Varney.
Always. You can't coach or defend quickness.
Tipped up, no, and rebounded as Miles DeVore got a hand on the rebound and coming out there with it.
There he goes again.
And there's Jackson with that quickness, hanging, no, and Tabor. And that was Cromwell in there battling, and he's going to get the ball back as, just like Elvis, Tony Wise has left the building.
That's right. Yeah. Keyston Brown, if you saw that rebound there, it should have been his 5th foul, and they did not call it.
Yeah. He was in there mixing it up,
yeah,
wasn't he? 2:50 to go in this one. A three-pointer here by Woodford County will cut it to 4. They need a basket. In the corner, Nash, and knocked
from
away.
the floor.
Nash, and he's going to put it up, and we're going to have a foul called as there's players all over the floor here. Hawkins and Razor Jackson. And
you know who we haven't heard from in a while is Marquez Ward.
Yeah, Marquez has been a little quiet here. He has 19 points, but the game's high scorer is Corey George with 20. For Woodford. And at the line will be Nash. And is he shooting the bonus?
No, he's got
2. 78% free throw shooter. Couldn't get it to go.
They've struggled at the line tonight. They really have.
Nash trying to get his first point, and it's in and out. Rebounded by Hawkins. 2:35 to play. Marquez Warwick jumps it up to Jackson. Comes over to Brown. Boy, good athleticism by Brown to jump up, catch that pass. Down the lane, Hawkins up and in. Good move by Harris Hawkins.
They just keep answering. Henry Clay does. Woodford County's got to put pressure as they're doing full court pressure to try to come up with some turnovers, and Henry Clay's answering.
That's 18 for Hawkins, 19 for Warwick, 37 points.
Cromwell.
There's Cromwell, and he is fouled. He's shooting 3. He's fouled by Razor Jackson, so Cromwell will get 3 free throws, and as we mentioned earlier in this game, 82%, but he's not shot them particularly good in this game.
No, it's been an all-around struggle for
1
Cromwell.
for 4.
Yeah, it's been an all-around struggle. He's a great player, great shooter. Just have those nights. You just hope there's not nights like this during the regional tournament.
He knocks that one down. He's got 3 of them. 56-48. He can cut it down to 6. If he makes these last 2, second free throw, got it. But you know, there's something to be said for a player that shoots from the free throw line his last 2 or 3 minutes of a ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so far, he's perfect. Got him all 3. Cromwell makes it a 56-50 ball game. Timeout on the floor. I think Woodford County called that one. 2:09 to play in this game. The first game was won by Scott County, 56-51. We got another close one here between Woodford County and this very good Henry Clay team.
We got 2 minutes to go here, and we got a 2-possession ball game. You know, it was 11 points, and Woodford has to continue to claw and fight. And they got a trap. They got to put full court pressure on and try to come up with some turnovers right here.
All your 11th region action right here on PrepSpin. Join us tomorrow night. We'll have the live stream broadcast of Scott County and Lexington Catholic over at Scott County, the 11th Region Girls Championships. That'll be the first round. The semifinals of that will be Sunday night. We'll have both those games on PrepSpin Sunday night of the girls. We'll have the championship here Friday night. Also, we'll have the audio streaming on Mixler and PrepSpin of the Woodford County Dunbar girls tomorrow night. So we got it flat covered here for the 11th Region Tournament on PrepSpin.
See anything you want, any game you want at any time. All of them are covered.
Yep. Kyle Oakes of the Georgetown News Graphic will join me tomorrow night for that Scott County basketball game as they will take on Lexington Catholic. And, it's going to be interesting to see Lexington Catholic, kind of the Cinderella team of the 11th Region Tournament this year.
Well, nothing to lose when you have to go to Scott County, and again, there's no tomorrow in the regional tournament. You just got to let it all hang out.
Quez to Brown, back to Marquez. He'll go into front court, jump it over to Razor Jackson, back to Brown. This is where Henry Clay can kill you. They move the ball so well. Marquez into the lane, back out to Jackson. Now he's going to be double teamed. Jackson in the lane, bounces over to Brown, puts it up and in.
Brown did the right thing as the ball was being driven down the lane. He shot right down to the other side, got himself in an open position to score.
Cromwell crossing over on Jackson, hanging and scoring. That's the first bucket of the ball game for the leading scorer, Woodford, Brandon Cromwell.
There's Mr. Cromwell.
Yeah, makes it 58-52. Cromwell now with 8 points, 6 of those coming at the charity stripe. That's his first field goal. We got a 58-52 ball game. Derek Varney, 1:34 to go here in regulation. Do you want to take a break, Mr. PrepSpin? Keep it here. 58-52. First game tonight was 56-51, won by Scott County over Frankfort.
This is what it's all about, as you mentioned earlier. These are the top 4 teams in the region.
Oh, yeah.
They really are. I know Dunbar really came on strong towards the end of the year. They got a lot of great young kids that are coming through. It should be exciting to watch over the next 3 or 4 years. But hands down, these are the best 4 teams that are in the Final Four, and we're getting our money's worth tonight.
We want to thank Mingua Beef Jerky for sponsoring this game tonight. Mingua Beef Jerky, also the UPS Kentucky Loop, they're sponsor of our replay. Bob Roberts Insurance. Bob Roberts right here on Main Street in Richmond. Sutherland Chevrolet, Drive of the Week. On the Scholastic Ball Report, Lexington Diagnostic Open MRI. Bluegrass Orthopedics, Rafferty's Restaurants, Devil Dogs, Whitaker Bank, Uniquely Kentucky. Kentucky Scoreboard Show with Rick Shaw and Don Atkins. That's Monday every Friday night on 630 WLAP. 50 radio stations, 10 to midnight, Kentucky Scoreboard. Crown Trophy and the Scholastic Ball Report. That's on the CW on Sundays at noon. 1:32 to go here. 58-52. Brown over to Jackson. Razor, he's really fast. Over to Brown, bounces over to Marquez. Kicks it back to Jackson.
They're going to have to hit free throws right here, Henry Clay is.
They fouled Jackson, so he'll go to the line. And Jackson is 78% at the line. He's a good free throw shooter.
Not bad.
I think anything in the high 70s, low 80s is a good free throw shooter. I just can't get over Tyler Hero. 93%.
Yep.
He's almost automatic, isn't he?
Right, absolutely. And you want your point guards, guys that handle the ball a lot. You want, I know we're saying Jackson here is 78%. My ideal, that would be about the lowest that I would want.
Yeah.
Say if I was coaching for my 1 and 2 guard, I'd want them to be in the 80s or more.
Yeah. Missed the second one, rebounded by Cromwell. 59-52. 1:17, Cromwell to the basket, hanging and blocked by Hawkins, and down low, and Cromwell tries to throw it out, picked up by Brown, and then Cromwell will come in and foul Keyston Brown with 1:07 to play.
Very frustrated.
So that'll be the 1+1 for Brown. Brown on the season, a 80% free throw shooter.
There you go. Well, you got both of them right around 80. Both your guards. And Warwick, I'm sure Warwick is.
But back to Tyler Hero, 29 last night in that Kentucky game. They played Tennessee Saturday. Did we get Tennessee a second time down there?
I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
It really is. I mean, what scares me is they haven't been playing too well. Now they go back home with Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I saw earlier that Ole Miss was leading them tonight.
Yeah. If Ole Miss beats Tennessee, they'll be really mad, won't they?
I don't know if that holds true.
61-52. Out front, Tabor. Boy, Tabor had a great third quarter. Nash down the lane looking. Kicks it back out to George. Over now to Miles DeVore. Three-pointer good. Miles DeVore. Ashton with the three-pointer.
Cut it to 6.
61-55, and it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Well, she's not humming over there yet.
Nope.
61-55. The lead is for Henry Clay, the Blue Devils. If they pull this off, they will get Scott County Friday night for the 11th Region Championship. And I imagine on a Friday night, Richmond only being 25 minutes away from Lexington, and it's got about 35 from Scott County from Georgetown. It'll be a packed house.
It'll be a nice crowd. It will be. It will be. Plus, spectators that want to see that game. Hey, we're going to see two teams play for the 4th time.
Yeah. the winner gets the Sweet 16. The winner goes to the Whitaker Bank Sweet 16 KHSAA. They play Thursday. We had that draw, and they play at 1:30.
Whatever the first game is now. Whatever the first game is. At noon?
At noon.
Yep.
Okay. So they play Thursday against the 9th region, my old region.
That's right.
But it won't be Boone County this year.
The Fighting Gary Balls.
Oh, I tell you, Boone County had an awful season. Don't get me started. Brown down the lane. He's going to be fouled. And 1+1 for Brown. Boy, this kid is just a solid basketball
tough
player.
kid.
Can handle the ball, as you said, tough.
Yep.
Hard-nosed, just like his daddy was
just like
at
his
Nicholas
dad.
County.
Yep.
And then played at Berea College. And Brown will play some college basketball.
He will. He's a junior as well. He and Warwick both juniors?
Well, he's a senior.
He's a senior, okay.
Keyston's a senior. Got it. Got them both. The 63-55. Clay by 8 points with 41 seconds. Tabor to the basket. Up and it rolls out. Rebounded by Marquez. As he's falling down, he throws it to Hawkins. And Keyston Brown in the front corner. He's going to be grabbed by Ashton Miles DeVore. 31 seconds here, and that's going to send Keyston Brown back to the line. Well, it's looking more and more like it's going to be a Scott County Henry Clay showdown in the 11th Region Championship.
Barnum, a miracle and a bunch of three-pointers right here down in the last 30 seconds, Gary.
Yep.
You are exactly right.
You're
It's
exactly.
going to be the, you know what, that's what people want to see, and that's what it's going to come down to on Friday night.
I think when the 11th Region had their draw Saturday morning, I think everybody looked at those brackets and said, Scott County Henry Clay in the final.
Well, and of course it had to be for the mere fact that Henry Clay was the district winner, and so Scott County was the loser, so they had to go on opposite
Exactly,
brackets.
had to go on opposite
And that's what I
brackets.
called. I thought that Scott County would definitely come out of theirs, and Henry Clay would come out of theirs as well.
Well, they're in the bottom bracket. Scott County's in the top bracket if you look at that 11th Region.
Yes.
Brown got them both, and the lead is 10, 29 seconds. Tabor. It's been a great year for Woodford County. Stops and pops left side, got it.
I don't call a timeout if I'm Wilson. Still down 10 points, don't foul.
65-57. Tabor has 14 points, and he's got 12 in the second half.
Yep.
He had 10 in the third quarter.
Woodford County plays extremely hard. Ryan Wilson does a fantastic job
He
with
does.
these guys. I mean, they seem to all be about six foot and under. Maybe got a couple 6'2s on there, but it
very
just,
athletic.
Right, and they play so hard.
Free throw connected by Jackson, and Woodford gets some new players in the game. Alexander's in there. Also, Alex Morgan's in the ball game. Sidney Mudd. Free throw connected by Jackson. Also, Ryan Duke. Duke's got the basketball in the front court. Right side back to out. They come now to
Let it fly.
Morgan, and that shot's off the mark. And Jackson's got the basketball. They're going to run the clock out, it looks like.
That's it.
Henry Clay Blue Devils going to win by 10, 67-57, by 10 points over a good Woodford County basketball team. And Derek, that sets up the championship. That'll
Looking
be
forward to
Friday
it.
night.
Wow, absolutely.
Henry Clay, Scott County, that's the two we thought it would be, and that's number 1 and number 2 in the state polls in the state. And they'll play here in the 11th Region. Number 1 and number 2 will play for the regional championship.
And I'm looking for another barn burner, in a game in the upper 50s, low 60s, because both of them will flat out get after it. When you know so much about another team, that's what happens.
Darren Douglas is at courtside. He's going to try to get Daniel Brown for Henry Clay, 67-57. They win it by 10. Really, a 10-point win by Henry Clay doesn't tell you what a great game this was tonight.
A lot closer than 10 points. I mean, it stayed around the 3 to 7 mark majority of the game.
And Darren Douglas has Daniel Brown.
Here with head coach Daniel Brown. And Daniel, we talked before the game, we thought this might be an absolute physical war, and it was.
You think? I mean, you got two veteran teams that want to go to the next Friday night. And I'm blessed to be playing with, with some older guys that's got something to prove. So we'll see Friday night. We're excited.
Warwick had a great first half. He got y'all started. I thought it might have been a difference in the ball game there. and actually really never got under about 5 late till Woodford made a run, but thought he was the difference in the ball game early.
Well, when we went 8-0 and called timeout, I got after him. I thought he was just kind of going with the flow, and then maybe I ought to do that more often because he got us on fire. He's one, you're right, jump-started us, and, it's just a fun time.
Good news is you got a couple of nights before you have to play on Friday, and really you're going to have to rest this ball club because it was physical out there tonight. I mean, they let you kind of get away with some stuff in the lane on both sides.
I don't know if I'll be doing any shell defense or running tomorrow, right? So you're right. It's just, well, we're on a big floor. You can tell kids are not used to that, so that's what makes it fun to come down here. Eastern does a great job. It's just a fun atmosphere for kids, and I've been here 13 years, and went to the region finals 2014, played Scott County, so might as well try it again, round 4, right?
Wasn't surprising that these 2 games came down the way they did tonight, and really the 11th region this year was that way. It was Scott County and everybody else, but it looked like that everybody else raised their game to the Cardinals level.
That's right. You're getting, this is 11th region. This is 11th region. You had 2 top 20 teams tonight. Frankfurt's had a great year all year, and Woodford County slipped up a little bit, but there for a while they were a legit team and then got it going. I thought Coach Wilson did a heck of a job with them guys. So, again, just feel lucky. Along the way, you got to have some luck. And, I'll take all the luck I can get right now.
You may be the better team, but, again, in a tournament like this and actually get the state title, you have to have a little luck along the way.
That's right. That's right. Just hope I get a little more luck Friday night.
Listen at you. You don't need any luck, Coach.
I need anything I can get. Anything get a W. I mean.
Daniel Brown, the head coach for Henry Clay, Gary, and he looks like he played tonight. He's worn out as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And you got Daniel Brown got the Mingua beef jerky, and he said, I need a little bit more luck Friday night. He knows he's got his hands full. Scott County's number 1 in the state for a reason. They're 32-3, I believe 31-3, something like that on the season.
Got beat by a team from Los Angeles, Dunbar, and Henry Clay. So 3, yes. So they're 32-34 wins. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so they're number 1, and Henry Clay nipping on their heels, number 2 in the state. Depending on the poll you look at, I mean they came out Monday, and Henry Clay was right there, and that's who will play for our state championship, number 1 and number 2 in the state. Pretty good to have a regional where you can have number 1, number 2 in the state playing for the region championship.
Exactly, and you can't, Gary, I couldn't sit here and say, hey, Scott County, they're probably favored in this game, or I think this will be a dead even match on Friday night. And like I said, I think it'll come down to a possession or 2.
Yep, and it'll be Scott County and Henry Clay. They'll battle for the 11th region championship. And that'll be Friday night, 8 o'clock is the start. Tomorrow night, William and I will be over at Scott County for the Lexington Catholic game. Cal Oakes from the Georgetown News Graphics is going to join us for that broadcast at 7:30. Darren Douglas, by the way, will have the audio broadcast on Mixler of PrepSpin of the Woodford County Dunbar girls game, and that should be a Donnybrook over. That'll be a war over the Dunbar between Woodford County.
Was the first time.
Yeah. So you'll have the call of that one. We will have the Scott County girls against Lexington Catholic tomorrow night, 7:30. Boys championship Friday night at 8, and then the girls semifinals will be on Sunday night. And we want to thank all of our broadcast teammates tonight. All the folks here on the PrepSpin. William Warfield, the king of stream. Darren Douglas manning the sidelines, doing all the pre- and post-game interviews, halftime. Derek Varney, Tony Wise were the analysts here tonight on PrepSpin. This is Gary Ball. Your final scores, once again, Scott County 56 and Frankfurt 51 and 67, Henry Clay 57 for Woodford County. Until tomorrow night when Lexington Catholic takes on Scott County girls, this is Gary Ball saying so long, PrepSpin.com digital network.